This is the story of Johnny Appleseed. When America was still in the pioneering stage, that is, people were still traveling west in covered wagons, John Chapman was a man who lived in the West, not the far West though. He loved nature, and he loved to be outside, close to nature. Loved everything about it seems. Loved to take long walks, loved to sit by himself with his own thoughts, surrounded by trees and animals, and he was a gentle man. He never carried a weapon, and he always seemed to glow with a sense of peace. One day he was sitting under a tree, and he ate an apple. After eating the apple, he thought, looking at the seeds in his hand, if I planted these seeds, and if everyone planted seeds, then the whole country could have apple trees everywhere, and the land would be a better place. People would have things to eat, I think he means, but it would be a good thing. So he decided right then and there that he would collect as many apple seeds as he could and distribute them to people. And gradually he would move west too, that he would travel all the time and help people, give them bags of apple seeds, and encourage them to plant these things. Sometimes he would stay for some weeks in some places, helping people, building, or whatever. And always when he traveled, he would return again and again to see his friends again and again too. So he kept close contact with them. Now, in his travels, often he was alone. He would wear a pot on his head, like a hat. No weapon, as I said. But no one ever bothered him because people loved him. Now, even wolves, bears loved him. One day, he was sitting under a tree in the woods. 3 little bear cubs came out from behind the tree and basically sat in his lap, while Mama Bear watched all this, but Mama Bear knew there was nothing she should be worried about because this man was so good. As time went by, he acquired the name Johnny Appleseed, and everyone knew about Johnny Appleseed. He was also good friends with the Indians. Now, the Indians generally didn't like whites, who basically took their land, but Johnny Appleseed was so kind and good that they liked him too. They liked him very much too, and he was their friend, and they were his friend. That's a little important. Years went by, years of leading the kind of life he led. One day he was walking through the woods. It was winter. It was a very harsh winter. Spring should have come by then, but snow was still on the ground, and he fell to the ground in the snow, apparently sick. Some hours passed, and an Indian woman and her son found him. The boy ran to the village. Indians carried him to the village. He had a very bad fever, and I think he almost died, but he didn't. Spring came, and one day he opened his eyes, and his friends, the Indians, had taken care of him, given him medicine, and generally saved his life. As years he lived, he enjoyed that spring and other springs, and as many years went by, his fame spread, his gentleness spread. He hated fighting. He never fought, it would seem. And his message was a message of peace and kindness, brotherhood. So he became a kind of folk hero. But he was a real man, apparently. John Chapman was his name, Johnny Appleseed.